welcome to NZFPV Ground Station. Today's video we're going to have a look at the DW Flying Wing 600. Basically it's just a flying wing with a 250 size quad motor on it with a 5-inch propeller in it. So we'll open up the box and see what you get inside. Here are all the contents all laid out of the box. What we've got is your two wing halves, main wing halves. You've got your stabilizers, two stabilizers. You've got your wing joining carbon fibre rod. You've got your plywood hardware, so you can mount your radio, your battery and your motor. You've got your control horns and your control push rods. You've got your propeller and also a push rod to cut the length for your servos. So the first thing you got to do when you get a kit like this is, a lot of people say that they have problems with this being too stiff in that. So what you got to do is carefully get a knife between the crack there and just run over it just slightly for the grooves, and then you work that aileron backwards and forwards until it starts to be free, and then after a while it will be nice and free. Now before I start do the build process, I need to know what motor size motor I'm going to use and what servos I'm going to use. So here are my servos here. There are 4.5 gram servos which will fit into the servo slots here. And then I've got a, here we go, 230 23,000 kV motor, which incidentally I use the same motors for my 250 quad, which will be ample to fly this with. And I've got a 12 amp ESC. So the first part is I've already done all the ailerons, freed them up. The first stage is to join these two wing halves together. Right, I've got all the two wing halves joined together. I'll put the joining spar in the middle there, and then on the other side I started drawing out holes for the motor pod. The other complaint with this top model here is like the motor mount and radio pod has little dimples and they haven't cut it out on this wing. So what we're going to do next is build the motor pod, and then we'll just re-measure that, make sure that's all right, groove these out a little bit, and then slot it in. Now we're ready for our mounting hardware. With the motor mount on the hardware pack, you notice it's only got 3 holes. Now the motor I'm using has 4 holes in it, and if you have a look at that focus, the holes are not even. They're sort of like up and down from each other, so they're not exactly central each side. So what I've got to do is mark the holes out where I've got to re-drill them so I can bolt the motor on. That's your motor mount all done, all the sides glued up in the back. I've mounted the motor on. Now we'll come to the stage where the motor pod's already done. I just line those holes up, which is perfect what I've done. But first things first, before I go any further mounting the motor pod on and cutting these grooves out, is I've got to mount these servo holes here, our servos, so they'll be next on our list. Rightio, we've got both our servos all glued into place. I'll just tack a bit of glue on the lugs and just put just a small little bit around the sides, just holding the smoke. And same with the other servo. And I poked the wire into the groove that they made for the aileron servo, and just put a thin bit of glue on top to keep the wire in place. If we need to change the servo later on, we can. Hot glue is actually quite easy to get off. Now we're going to mount this motor pod onto the frame. the motor pod is now mounted to the fuselage. Now what I'm going to do next is install the two side stabilizer fins. Now we've got our tail fin, our fins all glued on that. A helpful tip with these foam cores here is like put a dab of glue all the way down and scrape off with the scrap piece of foam. That gives it a little bit more strength, and also reinforce put a smear of glue around the outside just to give it a bit more strength. We've got all our receiver installed, and also our ESC on the side here, which I still got to connect up the wires and that. Just checking out the weight of it. We're coming to 190 grams, which is more than what they specify on the total weight of 110 grams. But bear in mind, I'm using a 1000 milliamp LiPo and a bigger motor, and of course it's got plenty of wing area to accommodate that weight. So next step is to bind the radio, the spectrum, and then we can set up the servo control surfaces. Now I've got my control linkages all done and the servo horns all mounted on. Basically these come with a horn with a clip underneath the bottom here, which I've put a little bit of hot glue on it just to secure it. And basically these are just carbon fibre push rods which you cut to length, and they give you 4 bits of wire with already a Z bed already in them. So basically what you gotta do is, like, they give you some heat shrink. You cut the heat shrink to length on all four sides, and then you dab a little bit of CA, and then you push your wire in, and as well as the heat shrink, and then use a lighter or a small flame just to shrink the heat shrink up. And at the same time, with the heat applied to it, it will make the CA cure a lot faster. Now also I've changed the orientation of the receiver. I'll put the receiver on top and the ESC's on the side. So I was originally going to put a 1000 amp 3S in it, but I've actually ordered in a 2S 850 milliamp LiPo, which will fit in there nicely. So we're going to test fly that when that arrives, and where the weather's permitting, and see how it goes. Now also at the same time I've actually coloured the fins with a pink colour. It's just to aid with orientation up in the sky. Now we'll check our control surfaces. Right, we've plugged our radio gear in, battery in the receiver, so we'll check our control surfaces. This is your up elevator, down, that's right, your left, that's right, and then your right. Now with this radio here, this is a DX6i. I put some explanatory in it, explanatory of 35 on the ailerons and 25% on the elevator. It just basically being a flying wing, with experience with a flying wing, I've had experience with it being a bit too twitchy. By putting a bit of explanatory in it, it actually softens out the middle sticks. That makes it a little bit flying smooth, but you still maintain that 100%. Anyway, the next stage is to later on is to do another video of it flying. That's it for today. Bye for now.